Hi everyone, Richard here at Calvin Wazoo with another video for you, and today it's a contest entry. So before I get into that, I do want to remind people that I am still running my own contest for the celebration of my birthday earlier this month, plus hitting 1,000 subscribers. I will have a link in the down under to the video announcing that contest. So if you haven't submitted something, you still have a chance. Right off the top of my head, I can't remember, when it closes, but it's the first weekend in August, I believe, or, right around August 9th or somewhere around there. It's a weekend, so that we had a full month or whatever. And so back to this contest, which, all right, I guess technically the video I watched that informed me about this contest was Glenn Kelway from the Basement, all right? But Vinyl Richie also actually gave me a shout out among a long list of channels that he thought ought to participate in this contest. So, I don't know, both of them kind of had a little bit to do with that. And so the channel is TKR VideoCentral. I will have a link to the contest announcement in the down under for this also. And it began as a push to reach 200 subscribers, but man, they're in the rearview mirror. He's already well beyond that. So a very interesting channel, does cover a lot of different and obscure things, and as well as videos about what's going on in the different charts and things like that. It appears I've subbed to him, and what you must do to enter the contest. And so here it is. Show 10 titles that are so obscure that you don't think anyone else in the VC has a copy like you have a copy. All right. So I'm thinking, well, I got some pretty weird stuff, but some of my weird stuff, might be, limited number of people have it, but I know there are people in the VC who have some of this stuff. So I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to go through, my collection to figure this out. And then I saw Telegram Sam. She did her video following this theme, and what she did is go into Discogs and go through her collection and look at the number of people who say they have that release, that record. Now, of course, with some records, you get all different kinds of pressings, and while many people own a particular record, there may be a couple pressings that only have, very few people who say that they have it. And Discogs is often merging different entries because of duplications, or it turns out that a pressing, that they thought was its own unique individual pressing is actually just part of this other pressing. Anyway, I like the idea because I figured most of us in the VC probably use Discogs to catalog our collections. Although I know some of you, maybe you don't have your entire collection catalog. Yeah, so I might get nailed on a couple of my selections, particularly when it comes to orchestral music. I looked through a few of my titles, and I had some orchestral titles in which only like 3 people in Discogs said they had. And I'm kind of thinking, man, I just don't think it's that rare. I just, think people are just not adding it to their collection. But I did follow that same method that Telegram Sam did. So I went into Discogs to see how many people identified as saying they had this record. And that's how I came up with my list. And I had a bunch of duplicates. So, but, you know, TK just wants us to show 10. As he said, not 9, not 11, but 10. And so while I had a couple of cases where I had 3 titles tied for number 5 or something like that, I just kind of, you know, picked one. I thought for sure one of my records was going to be one that I would want to include. And when I looked it up, there was almost 100 people who said that they had it. And I had lots of titles in which only 30 people or less, 30 people or fewer, that's the way you say it, 30 people or fewer identified themselves as having that title. Man, I just talked for 6 minutes and I haven't shown you a damn thing. So let's get on with it, all right? So the first one is an orchestral selection. And I might get dinged on this because somebody will say, oh, I got that. Which is, you know, great because it's a great record. But I'm going to show it anyway, and I'm going to take the risk. And that is this one here by Benjamin Britten, Neues Fluid. And this is the London release. It's got the black London label. And this record, only 26 people have identified in Discogs that they own a copy of this. And the reason I got this record and this particular release, there are a couple releases, they have different covers and different, you know, record labels. But the reason I picked this one is because you can see, you know, here's the arc and then there's all these kids, right? So they're doing this play of Neues Fluid. Noah's Flood, you know. All right, so the idea came from watching the Wes Anderson film. It was a 2012 film called Moonrise Kingdom. Great film if you haven't seen it. And Neues Fluid plays a role in that film. And so ever since watching that film, I've always wanted to get a copy of it. And one day I saw one and I bought it. And according to Discogs, only 26 people who use Discogs anyway have that record. So that's my riskiest one because I'm afraid that somebody, you know, especially someone who's got a pretty extensive orchestral collection, they're going to have it and I'm going to get dinged. All right, now I'm pretty sure most people in the vinyl community, you know, that I am aware of, do not have any of these. I'm a collector of anime soundtracks. And yeah, there are some anime soundtracks that are fairly popular. But one in particular that I have quite a few records of is from the franchise, the Gundam franchise. All right, and this is the Gundam Symphonic poem. All right, so this is a orchestral piece, a recording that goes along with the Gundam anime, Japanese pressing. Here, you know, see I'm here. And I'm going in reverse order from, you know, I said Neues Fluid was 26 have it. You know, I'm going to be going in reverse order into my most obscure one, which doesn't even have an entry. Doesn't even have an entry in Discogs. All right, so this is Gundam, the Symphonic poem. All right, so Mobile Suit Gundam is the franchise. So I'm a big fan of that. Well, 26 people said they had that. I may have already said that. I'm forgetting what I'm saying. That's all right. The next one, all right, in at number 8 is going to be this one here. The record is the eponymous release by Knee High. All right, it's on this colored vinyl. It was a limited release. by this Chicago band, the Manic Static label. I just happened to see it in a Chicago record store. I looked it up. Only 25 people say they have a copy of this. And while there are a lot of, it was 150 of these issued, and according to the back here, I have number 15 of 150. I know there are quite a few people in the vinyl community who are in Chicago. So I'm going to take a chance, but none of you have this. Okay. Now, the one 7-inch that I have in here comes in at number 7. Pretty sure nobody has this. The Delta Haints. This is a limited 7-inch release. I have number 358 of 500. Okay, let's see if it focuses on there. Got this insert that comes with it. This like dilapidated shack. And then we've got some information about the band on here, you know. And Delta Haints here. The songs are Ashes of My Mojo, and well, actually 2 versions of it. Clear blue vinyl on this. And the weird thing is about this 7-inch, it's still 33 1/3 RPM. So technically, I'm only showing one format. So that is Delta Haints, which is kind of blues, you know, blues rock kind of music. Just one of those records that I saw in like a cheap bin, you know, and I was like, this sounds weird enough that I think I'll pick it up. And I don't buy very many 7-inch. I mean, I just really am not a 7-inch collector. Okay, yeah, I go for the footlongs. Sorry. All right, now the next one, I'm pretty confident that nobody's got this one, but I don't know, maybe you do. And that's this here. All right, French Chine Populaire Musique Classique. So this is all part of it's distributed by Radio France. And it's a field recording, I guess you could call it, of traditional Chinese music played on traditional instruments. So there's some traditional Chinese stringed instruments, some flutes, really, really nice shape for the cover. But yeah, and Discogs. Oh, by the way, the Delta Haints, only 18 identified. Only 18 people identified that they had that. And then for this one, the Chine Populaire, only 10 people identified that they have this recording. Now, I have another one that, another record that only 10 people identified as having, only 10 people identified as having it. And that was this record on side one. It was a 12-inch LP. On side one was David Clayton Thomas, doing some songs. And then on side 2 was Linda Ronstadt, before Linda Ronstadt, really, really big. And Discogs identified that only 10 people claimed to have that particular record. I did not include it, though, because I just kind of feel like somebody's got it. Somebody out there has got it. All right, next one. Pretty confident nobody else, at least in the vinyl community that I circulate around with, has this. And that is this record here by Taiwanese pop star Changu Shun, who died at a very young age. I think he was 31 or 32 in 1997. And this is a limited edition, 788. I don't know how many. I have to order these from Asia because they're very rare, but high quality pressings, but they're not easy to find and they're kind of expensive. But in Discogs, according to Discogs, this is, and I don't know if this is a white label promo because, you know, it's got this white label. I don't think it is. I mean, it's the collector's one, so it's not a promo, all right? But anyway, just 8 people, okay, have identified that they own one of these. And I have another record by Changu Shun. When I looked it up, only 14 people said that they have it, but I did not include that one. I did not want to include, you know, multiple copies of the same thing. Okay, next one. Coming in at, where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4. Oh, we're at number 4 now. Okay, so this one. Oscar Peterson, On the Town. Not only is this a Japanese pressing, it is a Japanese white label promo on the Verve label. Ooh, okay. According to, and this has got the OBI, the OB, all right. 6 people, only 6 people said that they had a copy of this. I will freak out if somebody in the vinyl community says, oh, I got a copy of that. Yes, it's a white label promo. Okay, anyway. All right, now we're coming down to the top 3, or the lowest 3, whatever. Now, I have a bunch of David Grisman Japanese pressings that all were very small numbers that people, you know, identified that they have a copy of. Now, this one is called the Rounder record, all right? And it's on this obscure Japanese label, all right? And called Trio Records, all right? And then it also says Rounder Records. All right, so this was really, really weird when I tried to look this up because there is a record label, an American record label called Rounder Records, okay? And but this Trio Records, because this is a Japanese pressing, it says on the label, manufactured in Japan. You know, it's got the inserts. It just doesn't have an OB strip, but it has, you know, the Japanese inserts that typically come with them. The thing here is I had a really, really hard time looking up this record label, Trio Records, because it no longer exists. So it was really difficult for me to look up a catalog number to actually find, you know, who actually released this and how, you know, blah, 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 the whole provenance of the record. And according to Discogs, only 3 people have identified that they have this. So, you know, I don't know. Again, somebody will probably go, oh yeah, because they collect bluegrass, and they'll go, yeah, I got one of those. Oh, in fact, I got 2 of them. Maybe I should put them in Discogs. All right. Now, these I am really, really confident no one in the VC has. All right, the next one is from the National Guard radio. All right, a Guard session radio recording of, and this, you know, it came in this generic sleeve. There's the label. And this is Sarah Vaughan, accompanied by Woody Herman and his orchestra. So it's a radio show. It's even got some interview, you know, that Sarah Vaughan is, you know, speaking to the DJ. This is show number 48. And with the host, Martin Block. So we've got There's no listing in here. Well, maybe there was inside that as to, what pieces, what songs are they playing. But yeah, very obscure. And I did look this up in Discogs, and only 2 people have said that they have a copy of this. Now, you think here, all right, I entered this into my catalog, my catalog at Discogs. So when we've got only 2 people who have this record, I am one of the 2 people, okay? And then this one is the number 1 or the number 0 or whatever how you want to look at it. Rarest one, I think. And this is a record, again, one of these records that radio networks pressed, and they would send them around to radio stations, to play. And it's the BBC broadcast. This is from the BBC Rock Hour. All right, there's the label. All right, and this is broadcast number 341. The thing is, and it was broadcast October 10th in 1982. And the thing is that this has no entry in Discogs. I looked it up. I typed in BB broadcast number 341. A whole bunch of BB broadcast, vinyl pressings showed up, but not number 341. And it's of missing persons. All right. It's the, let's see. We've got, where was it recorded? Side 1 begins with, Sylvie Simmons, she's talking, and then they've got the music. Mental Hopscotch, I believe it was from a live show. It's been a while since I listened to this. It was from a live show that they played someplace. And anyway, missing persons. BBC Rock Hour number 341, broadcast the week of October 10th, 1982. This is version A, so I'm not really clear, with the provenance, what that might mean. And, there you go. So, all right. Gosh, everybody else's, the videos that they did for this were like 15 minutes or less, and here I am going beyond 22 minutes. I just talk. Anyway, those are my 10 records that I think no one else in the vinyl community has. That I'm the only one who has these. So, but if you did see one that I showed and you do have it, yeah, well, let me know in the comments in the down under, whatever. Spoil my party. Go ahead. I can take it. So there you have it. Again, I'll have a link to the original contest announcement at TKR VideoCentral so that you can go check it out. And I do recommend that you do that. And I will also have a link in the down under. I said I was going to have something else in the down under. Oh, yeah, my contest. Yes. Link to that so that you can participate if you have not done so already. And remember, I am on Instagram as NewsDude76. That's NEWZDUDE76. That's where you find me on Instagram. And as always, pray for the people inside your head, for they won't be there when you're dead.